fellow cyborgs, and welcome to another Pajama Sunday. I'm coming to you today to tell you a little bit more about myself. One of the things that I struggle with, and I think a bunch of different creators on YouTube struggle with as well, is remaining genuine in your videos while still making entertaining videos and the sort of content you want to create. I myself adopt a sort of persona whenever I'm doing my videos. I'm a lot smilier and more excitable in my videos than I am in real life. This also ties into what I was thinking about recently of like a bunch of different booktubers or YouTubers where I'm like, I would like to be your friend, but then I think, but maybe they're not actually like that in real life. And so I thought I'd let you know what I'm like in real life. So in real life, this is normally what my face is doing. Or if I'm thinking really deeply or reading, this is my face. So it looks very different from normally what my face looks like in videos. The sort of videos that I like watching, booktube or otherwise, are uplifting, cheerful videos. And I'm normally a very neutral to low energy person and neutral to depressive facial expressive sort of person. And I don't necessarily enjoy watching those sorts of videos or those sorts of personalities. Sometimes I'm in the mood, but most of the time I want the videos that I'm consuming to make me feel energized and happy. So that's why I produce the sort of videos that I do. But I'm not completely faking it. It's more that I'm showcasing the happy-go-lucky, excited side of myself during my film recordings, whether or not I have to kind of create that cheerfulness out of nothing. It's like I'm showing you the special side of myself that I am most proud of, I guess, in a way, when I'm filming, because that's the sort of face I want to put out into the world, and hopefully it's a face that makes your face laugh. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of with my videos, is if I can brighten someone's day. Though I'm not like that 90% of the time in my life, that's still definitely a genuine part of me. If you were to be my friend, most days I would probably be the biggest party pooper ever. Oh my goodness, don't travel with me, because chances are we'll do nothing you want to do, and I'll seclude myself in a hotel room by 5 p.m. and not come out. Because that's just me. That's just me and my anxiety, and that's okay, you know, like ideal. It could be worse. Another fun, or not so fun, tidbit about me is I wanted to talk about bullying, and I don't consider myself having been bullied in school. I was picked on a bit, but it wasn't relentless and daily. But one aspect of my life where I was bullied was by medical doctors. So when I was younger, I was very overweight, and I also had knees that dislocated at random. Again and again and again, my mother and I would go into my pediatrician and say, "These knees, it's a problem, help." And they would look at me and see a very fat child and say, "Well, your knees are dislocating because there's so much extra weight on them. So what you need to do is exercise." But unfortunately, my knees were so unstable that walking down a decline, I could dislocate my knee. So it's like, what exercise do you want me to do? My knees are not happening. It's not gonna make it happen. This went on for years. I think the first time I tweaked or dislocated my knee was when I was 5. I think that's an actual memory. The last time after I had successful surgeries, I was 15 or 16. So for about 10 years in the bulk of my childhood, my knees scared me because I never knew when they were going to dislocate and I was going to be on the ground in pain and immovable. I had my first knee surgery the day after my 7th birthday, and it was extensive. It was in the summer. I had a leg cast from the top of my thigh to my ankle, and what they did was muscle stuff. They tried to somehow replace the muscle around my kneecap to keep it in place. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. And so we had kind of given up hope, and I was, coping in PE class and stuff and trying to be careful. And then my mom reached out one more time to a family friend who was a doctor, and we got a referral to an orthopedic surgeon, and he figured out that I actually have very loose ligaments, and so it had nothing to do with my weight, it had nothing to do with muscle. My ligaments were so loose that it wasn't keeping my kneecap in place. So 2 surgeries later and a bunch more scars later, and my knees are the weakest point in my body, and they creak and critch with, cartilage that's just hanging around out there, and they pain me most days, but I haven't dislocated my knee in 10 years. So that's been a wonderful, wonderful thing. I don't know if you guys can do this, and it's not super creepy or anything, but here's one of the tests that you can do to see if you have loose ligaments, is if you can bend your thumb to touch your arm, which I can do with relatively no pain. And that's one of the tests that he did in the consultation office, just to see. He was just like, yeah, that is a sign of loose ligaments. So yeah, so that's my weird bullying story. I was bullied by adults in positions of authority who said they knew better when they really didn't know anything. So sometimes it's, bullying shows up in different aspects of your life. I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I'm 25. And I've got tons of scars on my knees, and I've got places on my knees that are numb, like the skin is numb. I can't feel anything there. And that's just been a part of my bodily experience. And I forget most of the time now of, the lack of sensation or the scarring because I've had it for so long. But I know that in school, after 2nd grade, so after the first knee surgery, which produced a foot-long scar on my little baby kid leg, that was the first thing, maybe the second thing people saw about me. The first thing they saw was the fact that I was fat, and the second thing was I had a gross scar on my knee. And so that very much was a huge part of my social identity when I was in elementary school. So yeah, it could have been worse. I'm perfectly, those are just memories that informed who I am. The other thing I wanted to talk to you really quick about, considering that it is Valentine's Day, is feeling lonely. I have never had a romantic partner on Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day has never been an actually romantic holiday for myself, which is a shame, and I'm really looking forward to one day it being so, just because, it's one of the few holidays where I don't get it, because I've never been able to celebrate with it. And so every year, this time of year, I feel lonely because I'm reminded of the fact that, 15-year-old Amanda and her angsty poetry desperately wanted a boyfriend, a partner, life partner, and 25-year-old Amanda still wants those things and hasn't received any. And it's a bit of a, it's a little heartbreaking, but it's not heart imploding or heart destructing, just little hairline cracks. And I was also thinking about a podcast that Patrick Rothfuss did, where he talked about how, since no longer being in university as an adult student, he doesn't have very many friends anymore, and how he feels very lonely. And it got me thinking that we're all lonely, or we can all be lonely in one social aspect or another. That makes me feel very sad, but also not alone anymore. So by all of us being lonely, we are together in our loneliness. And so therefore, all it takes is reaching out and luck at finding people to reach out to. And then that can help. I'm only as alone as I make myself. So, if I'm feeling lonely and I choose not to reach out to my friends, that's on me. That's not the world saying, nope, you are not going to get a chance to feel part of something. So that's just something I've been thinking about and thought I might share with you. One of the book-related things I wanted to talk about is the fact that I started reading Moby Dick last week, and I am enjoying it so much. I am just completely flabbergasted at how lovely it is. Ishmael and Queequeg, I am shipping so hard. They're the cutest things I've read in a long, long time. And Herman Melville's writing style is just beautiful. It just washes over me. And, it's got big, long sentences, because this is kind of a Victorian, something like that, sort of when it was written. But right in the middle of this huge long sentence where I think I've gotten lost, it picks back up and I find the meaning of the sentence. And it's just been so delightful. I've actually been listening to it I've been reading it whilst listening to the movie soundtrack of Treasure Planet, which is a like sci-fi steampunk meets Treasure Island of Robert Louis Stevenson fame, which is an awesome movie. It's a great soundtrack too. So that's been a really fun experience for me. I have also been underlining Moby Dick so much because there's so many things that I'm either like, yeah, yes, Queequeg, yeah, or it's just beautiful. And it's been very delightful, surprisingly delightful. And I'm very much in the way of Matilda, where in the movie she says, it's lovely. It is. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the most frivolous, irresponsible, stupid purchase I've made in a long time. I buy things online quite a lot. Most of it is with purpose and intent. And it's that's okay. And I have quite a bit of surplus income to play around with, so it's totally fine. But I made this purchase earlier in the month, and at the time of purchase, I realized this was so stupid. But I still really wanted it. And so I was like, you know what, Amanda? You're going to embrace the fact that you can be irresponsible financially every once in a while. You don't have to be a stickler for making sure you're doing everything totally proper. You don't have to be an honors kid 100% of the time. So what am I talking about? I bought a collection of loose eyeshadow from Hello Waffle, which is a cruelty-free Canadian independent makeup company, and I'll tell you why I bought this eyeshadow collection. I didn't buy it because I particularly love the colors. I didn't buy it because I thought I would use it a lot in my day-to-day life. No, I bought it because of the theme, and it is the Catsick Literature eyeshadow collection. It's cats mixed with literature equals puns of wonderfulness. I'm not going to swatch it or show you the actual colors because the lighting in my room is just terrible, but I will link down below the collection on the website, on Hello Waffle's website, so you can see the beautiful swatches there. But I am going to show you the packaging because it's just delightful. So first up, we've got J.K. Meowling. Yes, adorable, right? Catechus Finch, a la To Kill a Mockingbird. But cat. Color Purple from Alice Walker's classic. The picture of Purian Gray. He looks really derpy, but that's fine. I mean, we don't really know what Dorian looks like. To each his own. We've got the Great Catsby. Yeah, that happened. Edgar Allan Poe. There's a little raven sitting on top of his little head. Cute. Franz Kafka of Metamorphosis fame. That's a grumpy cat in a beetle costume. Pride and Prejudice. Yes, cute. Hister Prynne from The Scarlet Letter. That is one flirty looking cat there. Finally, my favorite. Call Me Ishmeow. Moby Dick. So yeah. So I thought you guys would enjoy the literary cat puns because I find them absolutely delightful. I hope you enjoyed this Chatty Pajama Sunday. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better. I hope that your Valentine's Day has been going very lovely, that you've been practicing self-care or getting gussied up or watching an awesome movie with an awesome friend or partner, eating some great food, whatever would make your day awesome. But if for some reason it's not, just remember, it's just a Sunday. It's just the middle of February. It's all right. You're not alone. If you're feeling alone, chat with me down in the comments. I'm always very diligent about replying, and I'm also very nice. I won't tell you you're a loser or anything like that. I will provide support. I hope that you survive this day. You survive the next week. You will have a poetry review video to look forward from me on Tuesday, and then something else on Friday, as always on my channel. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below saying anything you want at all. But just make it nice because I don't need extra stress in my life. And until next time, you continue to be lovely.